Hey guys, this is Kysen here, and today I'm going to show you how to automate your mana production so that you can get this working without anything from yourself and you can produce an absolute ton of mana. Alrighty guys, so lots to get into today for sure, and as you can see behind me I have been doing a fair bit of building work which I'll come on to later on as well. I did some of that in the stream which I know some of you guys were there for, so thanks to everybody who turned up for that. The first thing I wanted to say today is we have a new little setup that I've done here for our energy collection for our EMC. So if you want to make one of these, it's a lot easier to do, and we'll just place this one over here. But basically you just need one of these matter relays on top, and then you surround it with the collectors, and that is enough. We got a jetpack on so I can fly up here. Oop, too far. So we can do that. And then you'll see here, if we right click on this one, right now we're getting almost, well, let's let it finish up, but you'll see there almost 140,000 when it's on full from the two of these. So much more efficient way of doing that, and that is every single second we're getting that. We've got a portable transmutation tablet now, so we can chuck this stuff back in without having to go. You see there 500 odd million and producing at quite a rate as well. So this is definitely the way to go until you get to the next stage, which is going to be the bonsais. And I'll show you guys those later on in the episode when we've got enough power to do them. But yeah, so that's just something there to update you guys on that. Now, in terms of what we're doing today, we wanted to get into Botania. So without any further ado, let's jump right into that. So the first thing we want to do is get one of these things, a red shimmering mushroom. We're also going to want one of these, which, if I can type it in, is the pestle and mortar, like that. So what we're going to do with this is put them together and get some of this floral red powder. Now that can be EMC'd, so there we go. Let's do that and then get a load of it out. And we're also going to want some bone meal. If we can clear that a second, I'll get that out of the way and get some bone meal out. Let's just grab a load of that actually. And then chuck in the stuff that we don't need. So what we're going to do is place that in there and make up as much of this as we can. So we've got 16 there. Probably want a little bit more than that actually. So let's do... Well, actually, is this EMCable? Yeah, okay, brilliant. So let's just grab out a stack of it. Easily done. And then what we're going to do now is we need to go and get all of the flowers. So what I'll do is I'll take you guys up here. We'll have a little look around up here. Just very quickly, this is just a little house that we were building that I've kind of made up here. And this will be something that's a bit of an ongoing project. You can see I've done the outside and the inside a little bit, but not all the furnishings and stuff. So got a bit of water here that I thought looked quite cool. Got some artsy stuff going along the back there, and just using this glowstone here to light it. Now, I don't want to spend too long on this, but I did want to show you guys it to ask you a bit of a question, really, as to whether you want to see more creative building stuff like this on camera, or if you want me to just stick to the modded like I've been doing. So leave a comment, let me know what you want. On the theme of modded, here we are. We've got a little area here for Botania, and something unexpected happened. We got some animals spawning. So because we've got some grass here, we're getting animals up here, which is kind of funny. Now, they can stay there for now. They're not doing us any harm. They're fine. We're going to use this one over here and start basically using the floral fertilizer over here to get a ton of the flowers. So that should be a good start. Let's grab up all of these wonderful flowers. And actually, let's just turn down our sounds a second because no one needs to hear all that. For some reason, they just make these sounds so loud in comparison to the rest of the game, right? But there we go. So once we've got all of these, we are pretty much ready to start on Botania. So let's just grab up these last few. And having this EMC table with us is so useful, having the tablet here. So these flowers are not EMCable, unfortunately. As nice as it would be if they were. But what we can do is get the petals from them, and these petals are EMCable. So let's grab as many as we can. So basically every single one, EMC them, and then we've got infinite, essentially, from then on, because obviously with our EMC we're doing quite well. So this is definitely going to be a good way to go with this. So I believe we've probably got every single one that we can get there, but I do want to kind of double check that. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, there's the 16. So let's chuck all of these in here. See guys, I am starting to remember now to EMC things as I go, and we have now all of the flowers, which is awesome. So now that we've done that, what we want to make up is the Petal Apothecary. So that's one of these things. Here we go. And essentially we're going to need some cobble slabs, some cobblestone, and a bit of some petals as well. So let's see, let's grab some of that out. Cobble slabs we don't currently have, okay, but we do have cobble. I certainly will have a crafting bench in here, as well as some creeper heads, you see there. And then just a petal, which we'll just grab one of these, out here. So let's chuck this down here for now and get to making this up. So we get the slabs up in here. And then I believe the recipe's like that, right? So there we go. Pestle Apothecary, ready to go. That's awesome. For now, I'm just going to place that down in here, in this room. And that's absolutely fine. And then we're going to make up a mechanical user as well. So one of these things, mechanical users. So we just need resonating redstone crystal, a dropper, and a lever. Now, I don't know how much of that stuff I have, but let's have a little look. Certainly have the crystal. Don't think we'll have a lever. Let's have a little look. Nope. And the other thing was a dropper, which... No, okay, we don't have that either. So for the... let's have a look here. The dropper, if I get onto the right thing, which is this one. The dropper is just cobble and redstone, and then obviously the lever, just a bit of cobble and sticks. So we've got a cobble, so just need out a little bit of redstone and some sticks. And I'm getting a little bit slack here with the shift click, but it's just so easy when you've got this much EMC. So let's make up the dropper first, in there. And let's make up our lever as well. And now we are good to go with making up our mechanical user, like that. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to need is called an Evertide Amulet. So I'll show you guys this here. Evertide Amulet, there we go. So this is just 6 water buckets and 3 dark matter. So let's grab that out as well. So start with the water buckets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And some dark matter as well. Oops, I should have grabbed out a stack, but that's okay. We'll put the rest back in just a second. And then we will have our Evertide Amulet, like that. Now, the cool thing that we can do with this is if we get the mechanical user and place it sort of there-ish. Now, we're going to need a bit of grid power for this to work, which I'm going to set up in a second. But essentially, by putting this up here, and I think activate block with item, right-click, upper left slot only, that should work. Let's put that back in. Let's see if that... Yeah, there we go. So it's filled up our... what's it called? Petal Apothecary for us. Now, I just need to clear up all of this mess that it's made here. But that's pretty cool. It basically means that this is now automated, so that water just gets constantly placed in there, and we don't have to worry about filling that up. So, quite useful. Certainly, you know, not a bad thing to have. And allows us to really get started with Botania. So, let's do that now. Chuck all this stuff back in here. Anything that we don't need anymore. EMC. And let's see, we're going to need some white petals. So, let's grab some of those. And some seeds as well, just the normal seeds, like that. We're also going to want here some wood. So we grab some wood, some smooth stone, if I can spell that one. That's like that. And basically what we need here is 4 white petals chucked into this thing. In fact, I'm going to take the jetpack off for a second. It's a little bit hard to navigate sometimes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That should now work. Let's just grab ourselves a bit of a free hand here. And there we go. I think we... Oh, did I just pick that up? Okay. So... Oh, and the seeds... Oh, there we go. Throw them in. Okay, there we go. Been a little while since I used Botania, but it's okay. It's all coming back to me. Alright, so now we have one of these things, a pure daisy. Unfortunately, this is also not EMCable. So, you know, just something to bear in mind with Botania is that you can EMC this stuff. But that's not really too much of an issue because we are going to automate this as we go along. So basically, we place this here and place some wood around it. And you'll see that'll start to transform. You get these particles here. And while that's transforming, what we can do is make up another one of these because we're going to need a couple of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 and seeds. And we'll place this one a little bit more over this way. Place the smooth stone around that. And you'll see again we get these particles here. And this is all going to transform now into living stone and living rock, which is pretty awesome and will allow us to get started. So while that's sort of thinking about it, I'm going to go off cam and get all this stuff together. And then we'll come back in and start with our Botania. Guys, just a quick little thing here. I did say that I'd come back to these in the episode, so I just want to do that now a second, and then we'll get back on to the mana stuff after. And what we're going to do is make up these bonsais that I told you about that are essentially 1 block flower powers. Power flowers. I don't know why I always say it the wrong way around. So basically, let's get that up in here like this. And you can see here, we've got a ton of EMC because I'm actually filming this after I did the episode. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. Now we need 18 of them. So let's get the 18 out, get rid of that. We're going to need 6 of these, 5, 6, there we go. And also our personal EMC link. Now what we want to do is turn these 18 into 2 of these things. There we go. Now, can this be remembered as well? There we go. So we remember that for next time. And if I go to Bonsai, here we go. you'll see here the violet bonsai is this one here, and I should be looking in here when I do this, but basically we can add that in, and that, wow, look at that. Almost 300,000 every single second, so that's pretty cool. And basically, we can just put this, it's a one wide block. For now, I'll probably move it, but we'll just put it down there. And if we, let's see, can we, it doesn't seem to want to show us, but if I open this up here, you'll see this is going up, and it's going up quickly. So basically, this is what this is doing, because there's nothing else I have that's producing EMC, so it could only be that. So that's proof that it's sort of working. But how cool is that, guys? A one block unit that is producing about 300k every second. I think, yeah, so it tells you here what it produces for each of them. So the violet there is 300k a second. The next one, 1.19 million a second. Huge step up, of course, to get there. But even without that, we're doing pretty good, as you guys can see here. So just thought I'd quickly show you that, because I did say that I'd do it this episode. So let's get back to finishing off our mana. Alrighty, guys, we are back in, and I've made a few things off camera to kind of get us started here. Including we've got some mana pools here to get going with. Although I didn't actually make that off cam, because I got lucky enough to get those in a drop. So that should actually go there to be in the center. So we want this in the center of this room. I did end up killing the animals. They just got a little bit kind of in the way, so we had to do that. Sorry for that, guys. But what we're going to do here is eventually we're going to automate this. So let's just actually grab out like a load of this stuff. It doesn't really matter what, I just need some blocks. And here, we're going to put a little ring around the mana pool. And on top of that, we're going to put our mana spreaders. So those are these things. The recipe for these, if you're interested, is that. So pretty simple to make. And we just need a few of them going around here. The reason that we're going to put them up a block is so that we can put the endoflames on the floor beneath them, as well as all around this area. So let me just get rid of all of this a second, like this. Here we go. There we go. So now they're kind of hovering up here. Now the endoflames, to make those, you need these things. So you put those in to the Petal Apothecary, and you make up your endoflames. So it took a little while, but it's certainly worth doing. So really now we just want to kind of blitz it all on the floor around here. So let's just get going. 4, 5, so that's 6 there. So yeah, we've got plenty on us to make this work. Now when you place these down, the reason that you place the mana spreaders first is because they will automatically sync up with a mana spreader that is close to them. So you want the mana spreaders to be down first, and then you place down these things. So let's get all of these placed down here, like this. And let's do another row just out here. And that's probably enough for now to be getting on with. So this is pretty much ready to go. But we need to use our wand here. Okay, so if we, let's see, shift and right click on one of those, and then on one of these, you'll see that that's a little line between the two of them. No, there. Is that working? That doesn't look like it's working. There we go, now it is. So you can see the pools, the lines go into the pool, and these sort of tilt towards it. You notice these are tilted, this isn't. So it's a pretty cool looking graphic as well. And once I've done all of these, like this, there we go. So it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And these are now pretty much ready to go. However, what we need to do is let's get out some charcoal. And let's just, well, for now we'll just chuck down this. So here we go. Chuck that down on the floor. And then this should then start, there we go. That noise means it's fired up, and this is working. This is creating mana, and it's creating a lot of it. Now, I'm not sure why some of these have gone black, and some haven't, but it looks to me like they are all working. So, not 100% exactly why that is, but they certainly seem to be all working. So, that's pretty cool. We're going to generate a lot of mana from that. And let's actually just come out here as well and see what this looks like through the window outside. Yeah, that looks alright, doesn't it? Not too bad in our little Botania room. So, pretty happy with that. Now, however, we are going to automate this completely so that we don't ever have to place the charcoal down, which is pretty cool. So let's get into how we do that. So what we're going to need is an open crate, which the recipe is just a bit of this living wood planks in a bit of a N shape like that. So let's get onto here. We've got this living wood, and just 2 of those will give us enough planks to make an open crate. So that's that done and dusted. We also are going to need hopper. So we'll grab out one of these. We're going to need another one of those in a second, actually, so I'll grab 2 whilst we're here. We're going to need some redstone. Not much, but I'll just grab the stack because I'm just doing my lazy thing. And I'll tell you what I'll do as well is let's make some of these slabs up like this. Let's get some other things out of our inventory just a little bit so that we can kind of get this going on. Okay, so let's see. I think we've got enough here to start automating this. We'll use the stone as scaffolding for now. So what we can do is kind of build up here and place that there. Okay, so this slab here we want to place above. One thing we are going to need is, let's get this. This tablet is so useful. I really recommend making one of these as soon as you can, guys. Okay, so let's get 2 of these, and we want a wooden pressure plate. But let's also learn that recipe for future. Okay, so we'll chuck that on top of there. So actually it's going to need to go one higher. We'll chuck that on top of there. And we can take down this bottom one, like that. Okay, very good. Now, the open crate needs to be placed on top of that, like that. Okay, I believe this is going to work. And then let's just come out here by a couple. And let's place a hopper going into it just like that. Now then, if we get a block of charcoal and chuck that in there. Right, I know what's going wrong. So that's going to work. It's just, yeah, we need to grab those for a second because I haven't done the redstone yet. So that's the issue with that. So for the redstone, what we're going to need is a slab here and a slab like here as well. Get rid of these 2 like this. Now, the scaffolding gets a little bit difficult at this point, but essentially, we might need to just take the roof off for a second here, so we can jump up like this. So what we want to do, get the redstone there, so we want one on top of the hopper. Okay, so we might need to reconfigure the roof a little bit, but that's fine. So one there, and one just underneath, I think, which is going to need to go down by 1 more, like that. Right, now this I believe will work. Let's try it a second. Just chuck a few of these in here. Okay, let's get rid of that. So, right, now when that charcoal's on there, it powers it and stops this from then being used. So if we chuck another one in there, that's going to stay in the open crate basically. So once that goes, this should start to drop another one. Let's chuck that in there. There we go. So let's put a few in there. I think it's just getting through them quite quickly. Yeah, so every time one gets used, another one gets dropped in. So that, I believe, is completely correct and will work in terms of automating the charcoal that goes from this hopper here down into there. So that, I believe, is correct. However, we're also going to take this one step further. Now, what we want to do is basically have it so that we don't even need to input the charcoal into here, right? So that it just kind of happens. And we can do that. So, the way in which we are going to do this, let's have a look here. We're going to need, let's get an Emc Link, like this. This is where the other hopper comes into this as well. So what we want to do, come back up to this hopper, and into that hopper we place this hopper. And then the personal Emc Link is going to have to go on top. So this again is where our roof is going to be a little bit different to how we originally planned it. Let's get my jetpack on. That'll help things. Here we go. So we place the Emc Link like that. Now in this Emc Link, what we do is we just put charcoal in there. And now what it should do is input the charcoal automatically. So back down we come. If we have a look in here, well, let's get rid of that. But you can see there we go, it's inputting charcoal for us. So that will sync up with our, basically all of our EMC. And it will just get charcoal using the EMC we have, which as you know we're producing so much of that this is not, even going to be a tiny little blip on it. It'll put charcoal and it'll fill up basically this hopper, the open crate, and then this here is just going to keep working. So that's pretty good. We've got an automated system here for creating mana. Okay, now that's cool, but we're going to take this one step further again. So, yeah, so I'm going to need to redesign that roof. I think I'll probably do that off camera and just make it look nice. But it's only going to be the middle bit that needs doing, and overall I think it's worth it for the effect that we're actually going to have. So what we need now is a Amanar Splitter. So Amanar Splitter, oops, I had it and then I lost it. There it is. So one of these things, which is pretty simple to make, 6 living rock and 2 mana steel. So I've got my living rock. To get the mana steel, we just need iron. Now, let's grab, there we go, there's an ingot. Go over to our mana pool and just sort of put that in there. There we go, and we got ourselves a mana steel ingot. Now, unfortunately, I was taking that. When you get close to it, you will take that, but the fact that it's automated, it doesn't really matter. So let's chuck our charcoal back in there. Now, this here is EMCable, brilliant. So we definitely want that in there. My goodness, that was the worst attempt ever at spelling mana steel. So we need 2 of those, and we're good to go with 2 of these and some living rock, like that. And we have our Amanar Splitter. Now, this is not EMCable, but never mind. Now, the mana pool, the recipe for that, let's actually have a look at this a second. I believe I know it, but I want to just double check. Yeah, okay, so I was correct. Believe me, guys, just trust me. So we got one over there, 2, 3, we want 4 of these. Okay, so we're going to have 4 of these now. Is that working? Yeah, seems to be. Okay, alright, cool. So what I want to do is pick up my mana pool and place a Amanar Splitter instead, and get rid of just 4 of these around it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now place down 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now, not only is it automated, but it's going to fill up 4 mana pools for us, which is pretty decent. So this here, yeah, it seems to all be working just fine. And there we go. So that's pretty cool, guys. And it's pretty compact, you know, it does the job, and it doesn't look too bad either. So I'm pretty happy with the way that has that's worked out if we look at that. So that, guys, is an automated Botania setup for mana. Now I'll probably do the same over in this room here as well. Maybe extend this back a little bit and put the Petal Apothecary with the mechanical user sort of in the center here, so that that's always a central item. And the good thing about this is we can always extend this. We could extend this corridor down and then have more rooms like this on either side if we wanted to eventually get like a giant mana battery going on, which would be really cool. But for now, with what it's doing, that's pretty decent. So the idea is going to be, we've got our little house there that's like a modern-y looking house thing, and we can extend that as we go along. We can do extra builds with it and that sort of thing. I'm not at all happy with that. That's our solar setup, which I added to. So I've got these extra banks here now. We've got about 21 million RF stored up there. But I want to do a nicer solar array, and I also think it's a bit high up, and yeah, it just needs changing. But then what I thought we could do is I like this. I like the brickwork with the quartz and the modern sort of buildings, and I figured we could have these going all around and have different buildings for different things. So this is our Botania building, and this will be like a little walkway down here, and then we'll have like another building maybe coming off this way to do other things. So as we progress through this pack, this is the kind of build setup that I'm going to go with, I think. The reason I mention this is because I'd love for you guys to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this kind of idea, and if you have any ideas, let me know, because I'm always happy to try out your guys' ideas as well and see how they work. But guys, that's about it for today. It was just a simple case of setting up our Botania and automating the process to get automated infinite mana, essentially. So we've done that, and yeah, it works really well. It's pretty simple, as you guys have seen, so you guys can do that yourselves if you want to, and I recommend it for your Botania stuff. So guys, the support on this series so far has been incredible. It's a little bit overwhelming, to be honest, but in the best way possible, so I'm very happy, and I have to say a huge thank you for watching this episode, a huge thank you for everyone who's watched all of these episodes, who's been liking them and commenting on them, giving me tips and ideas. It's really, really appreciated, guys, so please keep that going. It really does mean a lot, and I just want to take a little bit of time at the end of this episode to say thank you very much for that, because it really has been just awesome lately, waking up and seeing the views that I'm getting. It's, you know, it's huge, and we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers now, and that's just awesome. It makes me very happy, and I just want to say a big, big thank you for that. But for this episode, guys, that is about it for today. So, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.